Okay, another sharing for the discussion about social sciences, no? So yung mga disciplines. So titignan natin ano yung connection nila sa isa't isa, particularly geography. No? So as we know, geography, it is the study of the physical features of the earth and a branch of social sciences. No? Pero alam niyo ba na yung geography ay may kaugnayan din siya sa iba't ibang branches ng social sciences? No? Kasi syempre, yung isang aspeto ng lugar o yung location, meron siyang kalakip na consequences or somehow may positive feedback from the other branches. So, isa-isahin natin siya. So, ilagay natin siya sa perspective ng geography and political science. As we know, geopolitics. Ano yung essence ng geography sa political science? So, alam naman natin yung political science, the study of law, the government, no? But the essence of geography and political science drives the relationship why the regions in the world gain political importance. So, ibig sabihin, yung isang lugar, halimbawa, ito kasi may paper ako na dinidevelop ngayon, the West Philippine Sea Dispute as a geopolitical regional issue. So, malalaman natin dito ano yung extent or ano yung kahalagahan ng geography pagdating dito sa territorial dispute na to. No? So, syempre dapat ang isang bansa ay may strategy development no, towards the future based on the locations of the countries hold on earth. So, meaning kasi may hangganan eh. May hangganan yun ng teritoryo kaya halimbawa, yung isang lokasyon na yun, napakahalaga niya kasi maaari siyang bumuhay ng mga tao for 100 years. So, yun nga yung example ko dito sa paper ko, West Philippine Sea Dispute, no? So, we know that Philippines is being at the middle, no? That the USA, China, and other Southeast Asian countries are struggling for the sovereignty in the West Philippine Sea. No? Kasi syempre, mahalaga yung part ng geography ng Philippines, particularly the dispute in the West Philippine Sea, kasi syempre, meron doon mga security innovations, yung mga military bases, no, yung mga resources, di ba, for survival. Ilan yan sa mga pinag-aagawang issue ngayon sa geopolitics, no, geography and political science. So, ganun kahalaga ang isang geographical location na kapag develop ka ng isang strategy, no, kung paano mabubuhay yung mga tao sa bansa mo, that is a survival thing na ginagawa ngayon ng China. And then, punta tayo ngayon sa geography and economics. Alam nyo din ba na yung geography ay may epekto sa ekonomiya? No, paano naman? No, as we know, economics, the study of the distribution of resources, no, goods and services. Kasi masasabi natin na yung isang country ay mayaman, masasabi natin yung isang country na mahirap. No? Kasi yung populasyon sa isang lugar, no, ay may epekto syempre doon sa productivity ng lugar nila kung kaya ba nilang sustentuhan yung lugar nila. Many geographic regions that have not been conducive to modern economic growth have high population densities and are experiencing rapid increases in population. So, syempre yung geography, kung very dense, no, yung dense, mabilis yung pagtaas ng kanilang populasyon. Syempre, may epekto yun sa productivity, sa kanilang pagkain, sa kanilang food supply. Diba, example natin dito is the usage of geography and economics in Malthusian theory of population, no, developed by Thomas Malthus, no, wherein the role of space or location of a certain country affects the population and economic growth. Particularly yung tinatawag natin na population and food supply. Kung saan, sabi ni Malthus, explained that the population grows in a geometrical progression. Minsan hindi sapat yung pagkain sa pagdami ng populasyon. Siyempre, pag mas maraming populasyon, magiging limitado yung food supply. Yun yung according sa theory. Food supply increases at a slower rate than the population. Siyempre, mas sa dami ng populasyon, ilan ba ang pinapanganak sa isang araw? So that is the food supply will be limited in a few years. Therefore, the shortage of food supply indicates an increasing population. When the increasing population rate is greater than the food supply, this equilibrium exists. As a result, people will not get enough food even for survival, and people will die due to lack of food supply. So, ito yung ilang example natin sa mga bansa na nakaka-experience ng ganitong issue. No, unahin na natin dyan yung mga poor countries. Mas marami yung populasyon nila kaysa sa kakayahan nila na mag-produce ng food supply. Particularly sa Africa, as we know, Africa is a black continent wherein underdeveloped pa yung kanilang continent, mas malaki yung populasyon nila. Even in India, Europe, and other countries. Example pa natin dito, yung China naman, di ba alam naman natin, China is the biggest country in Asia. No? So China, for instance, the largest country in Asia with the yung sukat niya is 9,597,000 kilometers with 1.4 billion population. Imagine that. The China is the biggest country at the same time. Ang laki ng kanilang populasyon. So almost one-third of the world population, 1.4 billion population. No? In order to survive, China's geographic location in areas super aim to feed all the people of the country through trades, global linkages, and rapid allocation of resources. So ilan yan sa mga dahilan kung bakit lumataas yung populasyon, tumataas din yung tsansa na hindi sila makapag-produce ng food supply because of the growing population. Kahit ang laki-laki ng lugar nila, pero masasaid yung kanilang food supply. So, ganun yung relasyon ng geography sa economics. Tapos, punta naman tayo sa history and geography. So, as we know, geography is a key factor in history because geography puts history in context. It helps us see the why, when, and how of what happened in the history. The discipline of geography brings together the physical and human dimension of the world in the study of people, places, and environments. Diba? Kasi example natin dito, ang laki ng ginagampanan ng papel ng geography sa history. Halimbawa, early civilizations, di ba, kung saan nag-ugat yung mga sibilisasyon, nag-ugat yung mga kabihasnan. No? So, the rivers particularly would flood constantly. Sabihin na natin sa Mesopotamia, sa yung dating tinatawag na Mesopotamia is the Iraq today, the Nile River, kaya nag-exist yung bansang Egypt, and the Tigris Euphrates rivers, no, that arise the different civilizations in Asian history. Di ba, familiar kayo dyan sa Asian history. So, geography, syempre kung saan fertile or makakapag-produce for survival yung food supply. Di ba? So, makakabuhay yun ng isang bansa. No? And even, we know, no, if we look at the historical events world over, each of them can be interpreted geographically. Anong history? Paano nag-exist yung country na yun? Because of the geography, sustainable resources. Ano yung maaaring i-supply ng mga likas na yaman na meron sila. So, ganun kahalaga ang geography sa history. Sunod, geography and psychology. Tanong, may kaugnayan din geography sa psychology. As we know that psychology is about the human behavior and geography is about location. Yes, there's a connection between them. So when we combine geography with psychology, as we know that psychology is concerned with human behavior, as what I said, there is still the transaction between the individual that change the environment and their behavior. So, syempre, may epekto yung environment sa behavior ng tao and experiences. Or, pwede naman, yung behavior nila ang nakakapagpabago sa environment and vice versa. Bigyan natin ng example yan. So, here we go with the climatic, pinatawag natin na climatic determinism. So, when we say climatic determinism, it implies that a society is formed and determined by the physical environment, especially the climate. May epekto daw yung klima sa behavior ng isang tao. So, meron siyang epekto psychologically, mindset of individuals, which in turn defines their behavior. Bigyan natin ng example. Sa Jamaica, in Caribbean countries in the America, no? The stereotype of Jamaicans with their relaxed, ano ba yung klima doon? Ano din na tropical climate din, no? Medyo mainit din doon, no? In Jamaica. Kasi nandun sila sa tropical region, no? With their relaxed, laid back, and lazy attitude. So may epekto daw yun. And then, pag naman malamig yung klima sa isang bansa, may tendency na mas maging masinop sila kasi syempre taglamig yun. So they were driven with work ethics, no? They were driven with their behavior para mag-impok sila ng kanilang mga pagkain. Syempre pag malamig, hindi sila makalabas ng bahay. So, ganun siya. May iba't iba siyang behavior na nakaka-apekto. No? Nakaka-apekto kasi yung geography sa psychological behavior. May tendency pag mainit, bugnutin ka, aggressive ka. Meron naman tendency na kapag yung climate mo ay malamig, you're just staying in the indoors, no? To have an abundant supply of food. Ganun yung ano niya. Ito pa yung isa kong example. Yung clash theory na sinasabi ko, yung aggression and violence. May mga bansa kasi na nakaka-experience nito. Climate aggression and self-control in humans. Meaning, ito na yung nagsusupport dun sa sinabi ko kanina, yung climatic determinism that climate really affects the behavior of the people in a certain country. No? Halimbawa, lower temperature and especially larger degrees of seasonal variation in climate. Example naman nito, pwedeng mag-produce sila ng stronger self-control. No? Self-control. Iba-iba, nasi-shape kasi ng behavior yung klima, yung mga behavior ng tao. No, example natin dito, using China, sa China, example, sa China naman, ano nangyayari dito, no? Yung kanilang temperature, we know kasi yung China is temperate region, so may, ano dyan, may snow dyan, no? So, maaring may epekto yan sa emotional stability nila, maaari namang maging open sila sa kanilang experience. So, malaking papel ng geography sa behavior ng isang tao. Sunod, yung relation ng geography sa sociology, anthropology, and archaeology. So, dito naman kasi, sabihin na natin pagdating sa ethnic groups, di ba, sa kultura, may epekto yung lugar nila. O, halimbawa, geographical determinism, importance, can be applied in sociology and anthropology. Paano yun? Sample natin dito is yung evolution of man. Diba? Yung evolution ng tao. From Homo erectus, Homo sapiens sapiens, no? Nagkaroon ng evolution, no? Sa mga lugar kagaya ng Africa, African region. Naging mas kilala yung lugar na yon. Naging mas kilala na yun yung pinag-ugatan ng sibilisasyon. Isa pang example natin, mummification sa Egypt, preservation of pharaohs, no? Nakakapag-ambag din ng malaki sa kultura nila kasi until now in Egypt, the pyramids, no, ganun pa rin yung kanilang sistema ng preservation of dead bodies. No? Sa Africa naman, doon na-discover yung Australopithecus afarensis, ito yung mga sinaunang tao, tapos sa Indonesia, Java man, sa China, Peking man, and at the same time in the Philippines, we have here the Tabon man in Palawan, the Homo sapiens sapiens species. So meaning, these are very evident how geographical location relates to the biological characteristics and evolutions of man in the past. Anthropologists seek to understand human conditions by examining the biological evolution of human beings. At the same time, sa sociology din naman kasi may ganun, yung role ng geography pagdating sa human migration. Halimbawa, ang dami nagmamigrate na Pilipino sa US, ang daming nagmamigrate na Pilipino sa Canada. So, syempre, it varies about the culture that they have, diversities of the population. Kaya ang nangyayari yan, nagiging diverse yung population. Maaaring maging half American, half Filipino. Diba? Ganun siya eh. Nagbabago-bago siya sa culture. Depende sa kung ano yung, minsan kasi tinitignan nila yung economic aspect. Mas mataas yung sahod dito. Kaya dito ka magtatrabaho. Somehow, no, may financial aspect din sa sociology, sa geography, sociology, and anthropology. And then, lastly, is the relation of geography and philosophy. Siyempre may relation din yan, no? So as we know, different people has different philosophical views of space and taste. Example natin, as the world is composed of the western and eastern hemisphere, where geography finds the way to interpret the world in many dimensions, place incarnates the experiences and aspirations of the people. Sige, bigyan natin ng example. Using environmental ethics. Meaning, syempre philosophical ka, masyado kang reasonable, masyado kang uh, logical person. Example natin dito, moral relationship of human beings to the environment. Lagyan natin ng context. Pag sinabi kasi natin anthropocentrism, ito yung pagiging human-centeredness. Example natin, ito, Eastern people, ano mga Eastern people, particularly Japan, China, and the rest in the Eastern region, put symbolism of the beginnings of the world. Rising sun perspective. Pag sinabi ng Japan, the rising sun, the land of the rising sun. So, may pagpakahulugan yun sa philosophy. Di ba kasi nandiyan ang Confucianism, nandiyan ang Taoism, iba't ibang philosophical interpretation of the world. So, yun yung nila, ganun yung patungkol sa bansa nila, ganun yung pag-i-interpret nila sa philosophical views ng kanilang bansa. As Japan is the land of the rising sun in the eastern region. And then, pero literal, alam naman natin, sun rises in the east and the sun sets in the west. No? And also, the Chinese people believes that China is the center of the world. No, pag sinabi kasi natin, kasi yung China, pag tinignan natin sa mapa ng Asia, nasa gitna talaga siya. But Songgo Kingdom, doon nag-start yung sinasabi na yung China is the middle kingdom. No? During the Songgo kingdom. Kaya sinasabi na yung China is the center of the world. So there are many philosophical bases to understand a certain beliefs of such country kung paano nila ini-interpret yung kanilang sarili. So thus, geography is the basis of philosophical development because ancient philosophers use it to understand the world. It leads to analyze the usage of philosophy as location in the regions or the world serves as a symbol of hierarchy or symbol of meanings to interpret a certain beliefs or perspective of the world. So, ganun kahalaga yung geography sa philosophy kasi yung particular na lugar ay may epekto din sa kanilang paniniwala sa filosofiya kung saan sila nakolocate sa mapa or saan sila nakolocate sa mundo. No, so, ganun kalaki yung epekto ng geography sa iba't ibang pang-branch ng social sciences. Malaki yung kanyang aambag sa iba't ibang branches din. So that's it. I hope you learn something from the different examples that I gave to you.